I didn't sell out, son. I bought in. Keep that in mind.
Welcome to the Independent Characters, episode 269. This is Carl.
This is Adon.
And this episode, we are going to be talking about Imperial Titans, Engines of the Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse.
So this is a two-part episode, I think.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the last two-part episode for a while, because they do take some time. But listen, this, is, again, as I was putting the notes together, I thought I'd talk about all Titans, and there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of Titans. Yeah.
I don't think we will go, we're going to go in depth, but there's obviously going to be stuff we miss. We're not going to talk about some of the old stuff. I think what I wanted to focus on was kind of the Titans available now and how they play a little bit across different game systems and that kind of thing.
Answering that question, why would you want to use these models?
Is that a question?
Well, like the old codex, right? Why would you want to play this army?
Yeah, I think that's fair point. Fair point. Before we get started, though, I wanted to thank Ampersand and Azaleus, two of our Patreon sponsors.
Adon acknowledges the alms associated to Ampersand and Azaleus.
The what?
Alms. I was looking for a synonym that meant donation, but sorry.
Adon, Ampersand, Azaleus. Triple A.
There you go. Triple A.
And as usual, we're part of the Goonhammer Media Network, so you can check out more information at media.goonhammer.com for other shows and info. And then I also wanted to throw out a special thanks to Doc Dragon for tagging everyone in Discord who contributed their Hobby Progress Challenge submissions for the last month.
Tag your stuff.
Yeah. Make sure you tag Shell. That's at MKSU1DR. Makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder.
Because if you don't tag her, she's not going to see it, and you're not going to get credit. And speaking of credit, at the end of every month as well, she will send out a note to everybody that says, hey, go look at the spreadsheet. Here's the link to the spreadsheet. Make sure you got
the appropriate credit.
Yeah. And some people were hitting her back up and saying, hey, you didn't give me credit for my extra task I did. But then a lot of them found out they did get that credit because it's actually in a different column far to the right. So make sure you scan across all the columns to the right. You will only ever see in your monthly column one credit. So just be on the lookout.
You can only get a total of 2 per month.
That's right. I'm looking at your Adepticon 2024 shirt.
Yeah.
It's a cool logo, man.
Yeah, it is.
I really like that.
Yeah. Right. I was just at Game Castle Fremont. The guy behind the counter had on a Adepticon sweaty.
Nice. Hoodie,
yeah.
Oh, nice. It's coming up fast, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so excited. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Doc Dragon, for going in and tagging Shell in a bunch of those people's threads who had missed that. Again, make sure you do that or you risk not getting counted. Don't bother tagging me.
Doc being the community leader that he is.
Yeah. Okay, you want to leap into Hobby Progress? Elite Choice?
Elite Choice. Yeah.
Elite Choice first. I chose Ned Smith
and Word Bearers
and his Ultramarines.
Oh.
Almost the opposite.
It is the opposite. It's exactly the opposite.
First off, I love Ultramarines.
No.
I think they are a good looking army.
I never noticed that.
The color scheme on them is fantastic. And he has really done a great job on these. I absolutely love the cloth he painted on them, the color combinations, everything.
Green,
everything on these are fantastic. So I'm just such a huge fan of them, and this is a great representation of the Ultramarines. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. And he used clearly the macromat for photographing them in the background
from tablewar.com.
That's right. So
did you know that Table War actually has a charity called Table War Charities?
I sure do. I'm on the board.
Yeah.
Autism advocacy. Check it out. Actually, this year at Adepticon, speaking of which, we are going to be entering. There's a lucky draw. We can't call it a raffle.
No, it's a lucky draw.
It is a lucky draw for speaking of Titans, a bunch of Titans from Adeptus Titanicus, fully painted.
Yeah.
By the remarkable Austin Lynn, one of our friends here. He's the one who painted all of mine.
Austin's a really, really good artist.
And this is a fantastic looking army. So whether you play Legions Imperialis or you play Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah, Austin was in the very first CK Studios class in Mountain View, Mountain View. And he always painted white scars.
Right.
And I'm like, you're painting white? But dude can paint white.
Well, the funny thing was he paid Colin to paint, I want to say, some of his Space Wolves initially.
Yeah.
And then after that, like his painting
took off,
skyrocketed.
Yeah,
and
really good.
Colin was like, he doesn't pay me anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a great looking force, the Adeptus Titanicus force. So yeah, that's going to come up soon.
Nice.
I need to get the photos over to Todd. So
nice.
So look forward to that. And it's always cheap to enter. And if you enter once, you have a chance of winning it.
There you go.
Anyway, what did you pick for?
I picked Lucas D on the Discord. Put together an amazing 30K army, Death Guard army.
God, this thing's cool looking.
Yeah, it's really, really good. The one I picked out, I especially wanted to call out the Warlord, Korshak.
Oh yeah.
And
God, this is beautiful. The weathering and
now I'm not as big on the weathering as some folks, but I think it's done really, really well here. I really like the way the red plays in.
Big on weathering.
I'm
like
not
doing it yourself.
I don't like. But there's one army. I almost picked it actually. It was an Imperial Fist army. But it's just like weathered like to the max.
I love it. I love that. I
like some of it.
I'm a chicken to do it.
It's if it gets to be too much, it can be too much. But with Death Guard in 30K, it's so appropriate because it's kind of like signaling their decay, And I think it looks really great. And the Warlord he did is the red really pops, and it's a great looking.
It is a great looking. Not only it's a great looking model, but it's also just
the whole army.
Yeah, fantastic work, Lucas. This looks amazing. And then last but not least, we have Shell's Kiss, and Shell picked Battle Dan and his son Leo.
Yep,
he posted pictures of Leo. Painting, speaking of Death Guard.
Yep.
More Death Guard. 40K Death Guard for the Hobby Progress Challenge. And man, okay, so first off, this hits on kind of all cylinders for Shell, except purple. There's no purple involved there. But she said that this was the embodiment of the Independent Characters Hobby Progress Challenge. The fact that she's, Battle Dan is working with his son on this. He's getting his son involved, family involved. But if you want to ever get Shell's Kiss, all you got to do is have your kids paint something purple and smile at the camera. She's in the background laughing.
I was also very
purple
impressed.
and yellow.
Yeah.
So Yahoo colors. And then
I was just also super impressed with the paint display behind it.
It's impressive.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Nice stuff. Yep.
Great stuff this go around. Okay, want to go into Workbench?
Let's do it.
Okay, so as we go into Hobby Progress, the first thing I actually wanted to start off with was this call we received. And if you don't know, you can reach out to us.
Can you?
From our website
No
directly.
way.
There is a link there where you can go and leave us a voice message. A message could be up to 2 minutes long. And I just wanted to share this voice message.
Hey guys, my name is Lefteris Papadopoulos from Greece, long-time listener to the podcast. No kids yet, as far as I know. Adan touched on something interesting during the previous podcast on the Chaos Knights. Specifically, he mentioned someone having many more knights than he needed to play the game, simply because he likes to expand the army in interesting ways and having more loadouts, for example, and the variation in poses. That spoke to me a lot. I have a huge Imperial Guard army, and I've reached the point of having everything I need to play the game. Long ago. However, I've been expanding to it regularly by adding units that are not necessarily rules legal, but allow me to explore the in-universe combatants in interesting ways. For example, I've been making a huge force of Rough Riders and Sentinels lately, using all manner of models, from the original GW models to 3D printed parts, other companies, etc. Converting is my most beloved aspect of the hobby, and this is one of the ways I've been having most fun while hobbying. Thank you guys for an amazing podcast.
Well, thanks for leaving the message,
Yes,
Lefteris.
I'm glad it was a voice message and not a written message, because I wouldn't have wanted to try and pronounce his name.
Yeah. Well, I could do Papadopoulos.
Yeah. No, I can do that one.
The first one I couldn't. First off, just want to tell him I'm sending over a pack of the IC's condoms to keep them kids free. And but he touched on an interesting point here as well, which was he is kit bashing and creating models that aren't necessarily rules for. Right. That aren't rules. What was the term he used? Not rules legal. And I in our group, like, we don't really care about that. I mean, we do. We play by the rules. We play with rules models, but we have a big event that I am planning with Tom in February. And we're going to be pulling out, for example, Chaos Space Marines no longer get access to the Spartan assault tank.
They will in February.
And in February, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, just use the regular rules for Spartan assault tank. Sure. And stick some Chaos dudes in there. Like, we're gonna create kind of our own story around that day. Nice. And so we'll probably utilize stuff that's not rules legal. I think that can. I've said this before, but like, I think as we get older, our creativity like gets boxed in.
You think so?
Right? I think as kids, you have no limit to the level of creativity you're going to come up with. And so I think a lot of times, especially with games like this, well, that's not legal in the game, and that's full stop. Right. And I understand why. Like, I'm not saying like, rules don't matter. They do. They absolutely do. But what I'm saying is, you can open your mind a bit more.
I see what you're saying. That's one of the cool things about having worked for the company. You see people come in with these crazy ideas, things that they come up with, and it's like, yeah, that's not in any book anywhere, but it's just freaking cool. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, get on with your bad self. That's awesome.
I have a bunch of Minotaurs vehicles that Ed assembled. It was just like, I think I'll combine these things to make this look like this. Some of them then got made into units for Forge World stuff, but some of them did not. Right. And so sometimes I look at this tank, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Yeah. I'll never play the Minotaurs, but I like having that army.
Yeah. And again, most of the time you tell your opponent, hey, this looks like this, but this is what I'm playing it as.
And I think that's
and most people are going to be fine with it.
Right.
And somebody was commenting on this in one of the, I think it was on Discord, maybe it was Facebook, where somebody says, yeah, the only problem is when sometimes people will have like 3 of the same thing, but they'll call like, well, 2 of them are like this and one of them is like this.
I don't play that.
Doing that.
I don't play
that.
They're
either all the same.
2 are red and 1 is blue. The blue one is this. Okay, fine.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
it has to be
distinguishable.
Right.
So anyway, I think that I appreciate where he's coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
And he tapped off of what you said about having more knights than he needs.
Yeah.
But as we talked about in the collecting episode, need is a very interesting term. Right. Whatever makes you happy. So thanks for calling in. This is exactly the kind of thing I created that voicemail thing for. So feel free to tap into it, and we may comment on what you have to say. All right. So going into hobby progress, I have not achieved a lot in the last 2 weeks or so. No, I mean, I've finished assembling my Knight Abominant. So it's all prepped for painting. And then we've begun preparation for our February game day. So what happens?
But how many races have you podiumed?
None. I haven't even had time. I've been working, and then I've been playing a different video game.
A different video game. Okay.
Video games are hobby killers.
Yeah, they're no, they're hobby killers. It's just a different hobby.
Sure. It is Warhammer
hobby killing. Yeah.
I should be more specific in my hobby killing. But I've been playing a game with like Blake and Ed and Josh and Travis.
Yeah.
We're really having fun with that.
I came in today as a friendly coming in. I was like, oh, I know what they're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing we've been doing is, we picked, Travis and I started this because Travis lives in Southern California. I live in Northern California. We like to play games together. We weren't getting that many games in. And for those who geographically don't realize, like, that's 6 to 8 hours of driving.
Yeah, because he actually lives in Temecula, which is even farther south.
Which is 8 hours, yeah. But we tend to meet at Cheyenne's place, which is about 6 hours from here, 2 hours from him. And what we did last year was we said, let's set up quarterly a day that we play a game.
This is that arc you guys were doing.
I will drive down there.
Right.
He will come up here. We'll alternate. It kind of grew to be more than just Travis and I, and it was,
it's kind of been fun.
groups of people. And so we set up our dates for next year on the calendar, which helps because, then it's
Right.
on the calendar. You can steer around it with other stuff. And for our February date, they are coming up here, but Tom and I have been talking about doing this huge game of Necrons versus Chaos. And so even if people don't have Necrons, like they can come and like play, we have so many between Josh, Aaron, who's the other person with Necrons? Cheyenne. We have so many of those. And if they really want to bring them, we have Sky's kid has a bunch of Necrons as well, so he may come and play. And so and between Shell and I and Tom, we have so much chaos stuff that we're going to just have this massive battle, and people can just come up and play. Okay, we'll take these units. I think we're going to need markers, so it's like I've moved this unit, I've moved all these units, so everybody knows what's going on. And we're just going to spend the whole day playing a massive, basically old school apocalypse. Yeah. We're going to bring out Titans and all that stuff too. Speaking of Titans. So we're planning that, and not only that game are we just playing that, like Tom and I have thrown a wrench into the works. There's like a kind of pseudo game
don't give it away
around it. I'm not going to say what it is because only I think 2 or 3 people know, like Tom, myself, and I think one other person. And that will add a really goofy thing to it that I think everybody will find is very fun.
Nice.
So we're prepping that, but that's all I've done. I haven't done much, to be honest. Certainly haven't podiumed anymore. One so far. What have you been up to?
So
you've done a lot, actually.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit more recent. Well, because the moving has been. I did a whole van load of stuff that was just my hobby stuff.
I saw you pack it. Yeah.
So what it's like, as you were saying, it's about a 5.5, 6 hour drive from the Southern California place to the Northern California place.
Right.
And what we discovered in one of our other moves is that if you do a one-way rental of like a Dodge Caravan, minivan, when you put the seats down in there completely, it's like a box van.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of room, and it's about a third of the price of a U-Haul, the smallest U-Haul truck.
Yeah.
And it drives much better.
Yes.
It's a much better drive.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and I rented that and loaded up full of hobby stuff.
When we took my kid up to college, that was what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then we flew back.
Yeah.
We just took it one way.
Right.
Yeah.
And the GW boxes that the stuff gets shipped to the stores in, the bigger boxes, they actually fit quite well in a van. It's almost like they're designed for shipping. So I just loaded that van up full of stuff and took it up north. And then I had like all my hobby stuff was in one place. So it kind of unlocked my ability to do a lot of stuff. And it was funny because John French on his Facebook had the Drop Site Massacre coming out, right? And so I posted on there, I'm going to be listening to this as I reorganize my hobby room.
Did he reply?
He liked it. Yeah. So I trolled him a little bit, but I actually did. I was listening to Drop Site
You kind of
Massacre.
trolled yourself.
Well, yeah, but
you played yourself.
I played myself, yeah. But I listened to Drop Site Massacre by John French. Excellent book, actually.
Oh, nice.
And I did that as I was unpacking boxes, and it took me hours to go through things. I unpacked stuff and put it on the, trying to figure out how to organize it. And then also I had stuff like my Bellacore army. I just left that in the box and just wrote it on the outside to make sure it was all, properly marked. And it took
I saw the shelf of GW stuff you have at your new place. That is insane.
Yeah.
And I think somebody made a comment like anybody who's worked for Games Workshop
has a shelf like that. Yeah.
But it's absurd. And when I call something absurd,
then
like,
Yeah.
Like
now there's about 10 boxes in that shot that are all for one terrain project that I already have.
I'm not asking you to justify it. It's fine.
No, I'm just saying.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. It is definitely a lot. But it was Drop Site Massacre. At one point, Omegon says, So comes death's children, cloaked as ragged and bloody beggars, with knives as smiles. And he's talking about the Night Lords showing up. And what's interesting about that quote, first, it's an awesome quote, but the other character, recognized that as the oracle speech from the Cycle of Dying Kings from Terra M23. And we haven't had Terra M23 yet. And so it's so cool. And John does this as well as a bunch of the other authors. They make up these quotes for books that are old in the story, but future to us still.
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool. And
it's a nice little breadcrumb kind of thing.
Yeah. But what's really cool also is just it was a really freaking cool quote.
That is a cool quote.
And fits the Night Lord so well.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a spoiler, but the Night Lord stabbed the loyalists in the back. I mean, that was part of the story of the Drop Site Massacre. So anyway, I finished that book.
I would say not just the Night Lords.
No, not just the Night Lords. It was 4 other legions, but
that's cool. So you liked the book?
I did, and it really plays up kind of like the uncertainty of the role of the Alpha Legion, which I've always loved. And the fact that got highlighted in the book, I was rubbing my hands together.
Alpha Legion before, especially in Praetorian of No, I can't remember it's Praetorian.
Yeah.
Something. It was the Imperial Fist versus Alpha Legion book in Horus Heresy.
Right.
And that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. There's I won't talk about it because it's a spoiler, but there was a point where I was like, okay, John, you're Alpha Legion fanboying out here. And then I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But see, and I'm one of those people who love the book Legion.
Yeah.
Everybody say, it's the Alpha Legion book with no Alpha Legion in it.
Well,
yes, there is.
You say everybody says that. It was kind of Jeff and I.
Well, that wasn't the only 2 people I heard it from.
I think Jeff liked it.
I
liked
the book a bunch.
I think I need to go back and read it again.
Well, what's really cool is after 65 books.
Jeez, is that how many there is? I like is you're kind of like the Wikipedia of Games Workshop now.
What I like though is that the thread of John, what's his last name?
French?
No. The Grammaticus. John Grammaticus and all persons, and the other perpetuals.
Yeah.
The way that's kind of laced through the stories as you go through the books.
Yeah.
It's not just like one book about them.
I think that was kind of the first book that they were in.
Right.
And so it was so different than everything else. Like I think.
But Grammaticus ends up being a huge part of the.
Well, this is why I think I need to go back and read it again.
Yeah.
Because maybe I was just not in the right headspace reading it.
Right.
So I'm willing to give it another shot.
Yeah.
Give it another shot.
Good stuff. Yeah. I picked up the new Termes box with the Assault Terminators.
The big one?
Yeah. Picked that up.
Oh my God.
Because.
Do you need all those Terminators?
There you go with that N word again. So
easy, Tiger.
I know. But it has getting the Assault Terminators. It ended up being about a 32% savings.
Yeah.
On that box, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to use them eventually anyway, so might as well get them now.
I guess that's the key if you're going to use them.
Yeah, of course. And the Terminators. Anyway, I picked that up. I pre-ordered the Eisenhorn Heretic annotated book. So this is the 3rd book in the series. That's the illustrated annotated version. It's not actually a limited edition necessarily. It's not like the signed and boxed ones, but it is a special edition of the books. And I really, really liked. I actually went through and redid the books. Going through that one, the annotated ones, and I really liked them a lot. So I was able to get the 3rd one. I was very happy to get that. I signed up for War on the Shore.
Yeah, you did.
War on the Shore.
Yeah. In Hawaii. You should take a look, tablewarcharities.com, and you can see all the information. You can also get to it from tablewar.com. But you can find all the information about War on the Shore. We had an interview with Todd and why am I drawing a blank? The gentleman that's running the narrative stuff. He runs it out of he's been running it for the Games Workshop game days, or game weekends sometimes. So I highly recommend checking out
Yes.
War on the Shore. I really want to go. Like, I really want to go just because of the narrative piece of
Right.
it.
That's what I'm signing up for.
Yeah,
I'm signing up
and
for the
I
narrative.
just can't make it work. So, unfortunately, I'm going to miss it this year, but I'm going to try to do it next year.
Yeah. So,
Why am I drawing a blank? I was like, Chris?
Chris.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
So I signed up for the narrative one. Looking forward to that.
Nice.
But it also means that the Fury Road Orcs project is back on the menu.
Okay.
And, it's so funny.
I saw your Coptas.
Yeah,
picture.
well, boys, looks like meat's back on the menu. It never really occurred to me when I first saw that movie that, orcs don't really use menus, but
Probably not. No.
yeah. Anyway, so
Or would even know what menus are.
right, exactly. Wouldn't even know what menus are. I decided to get that thing back on track. Now I have, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but I have the Ultra Orcs that Ned painted up as a combat patrol. And the list that I was going to uses Def Coptas, and I was just going to use those. But
The
I'm like,
Ultra Orcs are the orcs that are pretending to be Ultramarines.
Right.
Okay.
And I was like, I could just use these and repaint them. I was like, but I don't want to repaint them. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
Because they're done so well. So I was like, you know what? This is supposed to be Fury Road. It's supposed to be haphazard, slap things together. These guys are like,
Right.
they just survived, the downfall of society. So I used 3 different Coptas of the 3 different versions of Copters that there's been. So I have one metal one. I found an old metal one, new in the package.
Okay.
And I put that together, and those are on the old clear flight stands with the round flight stands.
Yeah.
And then I have one of the first iteration of the plastic ones
From the Blackreach.
from Blackreach, which are also on the clear spindles.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have one of the new ones.
Oh, I did not realize there was a new one.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I thought they were still the Blackreach ones.
No, they're completely different. And in fact, they've molded the model to be kind of like going over like terrain or rocks or whatever, and that's what goes into the base. So there's no spindle anymore.
Got it.
So I've got three different iterations.
I think that's
of
very
them.
fitting.
And I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to fit the theme quite a
Wait
bit.
a minute, didn't you use sprues for like the blades on one of them?
Oh, so yeah. So the second one.
That's what I was noting.
Yeah. So the second one, I couldn't find the blades.
For the helicopter blades, yeah.
Right. For the helicopter blades for the second one. So the first plastic one, the Blackreach one. And I'm like, I know I have these around here somewhere. And I've got a bazillion boxes all over the place.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure it out. And I said, I just sorted through all this stuff. I should know where this is. And I couldn't find it. And
That's the problem. You just sorted and organized it.
Yeah, I never should have organized it. But what I did have is I had been saving a bunch of sprues because I had in my mind I was going to do a sprue city like Loopy had done,
Right.
which I'm not as creative as he is. But so I'm like, I can just recycle all these sprues. But then I noticed that a couple of these sprues had these round circle connection points with like a cross through them. I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. And so I clipped out a couple of those.
Thought it was pretty clever.
And I made, it looks like a Blackhawk rotor.
Helicopter blade. Yeah.
Helicopter blade. So instead of having 4, there's 8.
Yeah.
And so it just looks like it's spinning.
Yeah.
I actually even posted a video of me spinning it because I
didn't realize it.
on the Discord. So I was able to make my own rotor.
I thought it was very clever.
Yeah,
I thought it was very clever.
It came out pretty
cool.
good. It came out pretty good. So I'm pretty.
And
stoked
once you
about
have all 3 of them painted and stuff, like especially if you paint them in a similar scheme,
Right.
then it'll look like
it'll tie together.
It'll do exactly what I think you're trying to do, which is really cool.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you what. Working with an all metal model again.
Ugh, it's the worst, dude. It's the worst. And you know what's really interesting is like I hated painting it. Like I painted a metal Demon Prince, the Juan Diaz Demon Prince, which is an awesome model. It's just like the details on it are not as sharp as the plastic, but also like I didn't feel like the paint went on as smoothly, even though it's going over a primer. Like it just, I don't know what it was, but I was like, this is a miserable experience. Now, look, there's worse experiences.
Right.
But I mean, it was just like, this is not, like I would have preferred painting a plastic one.
Right. Well, at least you weren't assembling a fire raptor.
And I've said this like 100 times at this point, where it's just like, when I first got in this game, I was like, they want how much? And they're plastic. I'm like, make my models metal, you know?
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, metal?
Yeah.
What are we looking at the Stone Age?
So
Like maybe the Bronze Age.
I had the Bronze Age. I had this metal Copta, new in the package.
I thought it looked cool. Like Year 3, I thought it looked really cool. Where'd you find the metal Copta?
I think it was Noble Knight Games.
Oh, you just
online?
Did you just have it, or you just ordered it?
I ordered it about a month ago or so.
Okay, yeah.
So I crack it open a couple nights ago, and there's a piece that sits behind the seat where the two main rotors attach.
Yeah.
And there's two pins that are supposed to go from the seat into this.
Good luck with that
piece. Well, no, one of the holes didn't get.
So you had to go drill it out.
Didn't get casted, so I had to drill it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy fix, right? But like,
yeah, but it's not the size of the hole was way bigger than your average hobby bit.
Right.
So I had to actually use a legit drill.
Right.
Anyway, it was, it's more work than I wanted it to be.
Some of these metal models, like I remember the Thunderfire cannon back in the day, like those metal ones were the nightmare.
Yep. I have two metal ones and a plastic one.
What was the one that was the worst? Like, I also have like a large Battlefleet Gothic battleship. And it's like, you can see, if you look from the top, you can see how it's like a little crooked to the right, because it just hangs to the right, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a step to the left. It's just a step to the left. It's just a hop to the left. So I did the Coptas.
That's awesome. I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I was starting to do some dry brushing on some of the models. And I was just looking at a new paint tutorial from Duncan Rhodes Academy on the kind of the new style of,
what does that guy know?
Of dry. Well, what I like is that he evolves his techniques.
Sure.
So this kind of newer style of dry brushing with the rounded tips where you don't rub it off on a paper towel, but you actually run the paint out over a palette page. That's a newer technique. It's not the way that I learned, but I was, I was learning that technique. I was looking at it and learning it and trying to use that technique.
The Artis Opus guys are the ones that I think first showed me that technique.
Right. Well, I mean, they're the ones who kind of mainline
quote
that.
Unquote pioneered, but I'm sure people were doing it before, but they like you said,
they're the ones who popularized it.
Good call.
Mainlined it. So I was playing around with that. So that's kind of what I was doing for hobby progress.
Nice. All right, man. How far are you into moving all stuff up to Northern California at this point?
Well, the big moving truck comes on December 10th, and that's what's going to bring like the sofa and the washer dryer and all that kind of stuff.
You're getting pretty far along then.
And so what I've been doing is like every time I fly up, I check 2 bags full of stuff.
Yeah.
And then made several,
get rid of all the smaller
and made several car trips. And like Kim doesn't want anybody touching boxes with all of her dishes in them.
Right. For whatever reason.
And so later this week, we're going to actually rent another minivan. Right. My dad thinks we're nuts, but because she doesn't want anybody else moving her dishes. She goes, if they get broken...
Irreplaceable?
Well, yeah, they're like... She used to work for Crate and Barrel.
Oh, okay.
So she has a lot of dishes that are out of print.
Got it.
For like special occasions.
Hey,
like
listen, everybody has their special stuff. Like we don't want
Halloween stuff.
We don't want to check our armies into a flight. I get it.
Right. And the way she put it is like, if I break it, I'm the only one I can get mad at.
Right.
So it's like, okay, great.
All right, games played.
Yes. You go first because you have a lot of them.
No, I don't.
Do you have any 40K stuff?
Are you into Arc Raiders? No, I have not played any 40K. I've canceled 2 games on Aaron just because of conflicts of interest. No. Aaron was actually bringing his knights. It was going to be my first time fighting Imperial Knights, and I had to cancel on him.
Oh, you haven't played against knights?
Never.
Oh, well, let's set something up. I have knights.
So does Aaron, who lives 15 minutes from here. But we did. Aaron came over with our friend Martin, and we did play finally some more of Curse City, which I had painted everything up for Curse City.
Curse City is a Warhammer Quest game set in the old world.
Yeah. And like the theme behind it, I think, is super cool, where it's like there's this master vampire that has control of the city and his minions are out. And so then you're going in during the day, fighting, trying to weaken him and not turn the populace against you, as well as like encourage the populace, and then getting out before nighttime, before his full power comes
for his full power. And I misstated. It's actually set in the Age of Sigmar universe because it's Radikar the wolf.
Yeah, and also there's like a what are the dwarves called? The ones that fly in the flying ships.
The Karajan Overlords.
Yeah. They have they'll come in and pick you up
Right.
from the airship.
Right.
It's like-
And what's interesting about that, because Radikar the wolf, the model is amazing.
is it Caradon?
It's Radikar the wolf.
No. The
The Caradron overlords.
Caradron over. Okay.
And what's cool about that box is that it comes with 10 zombies and 10 skeletons. And a lot of the models you can't really buy separately, but they have rules in Age of Sigmar.
Oh, interesting.
So if you buy some extra skeletons, some extra zombies, and I think some dire wolves, you can actually field a 1,500 point army with what's in that box. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's how I have my Soulblight Gravelord's army.
The zombies are very specific. Like they're all kind of carrying like grave sites on their back. I mean,
Tombstones and things.
I think they're okay. The skeletons are phenomenal. And then we have the 2 expansions, Nemesis and Night Wars.
Right. But those don't have models; you just have additional.
No, you go buy the models,
Right.
which are Age of Sigmar models,
Right.
that you can then. But it has additional rules and that kind of stuff.
Right.
The game is pretty good. I mean, there is a lot of put the models down, pick them up, like where you put the models down and then you kill them off very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're constantly seeing a bunch on the board,
Right.
Because it gets removed so quickly. But
Right.
it can be challenging.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the new one coming out because the new one's also set in
Yeah.
Age of Sigmar.
It looks beautiful.
It looks really great, and the map books where you open up the book and the map is right there.
Yeah.
It's going to make the setup so much faster.
I'm curious to see how it plays. Aaron's buying it, so I'm going to let him buy it.
Yeah, so am I.
I'll let either you buy it. You guys can slap chop that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I spent a bunch of time slap chopping, and I say a bunch of time. I think it took me like maybe 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
and they were done.
Right.
And I love the look of them. But then they sat in my closet forever. So when
Well, you
these
just have to
guys
do a
came over-
Soulblight Gravelord's army, and we can play some Age of Sigmar.
Nope. I'm
Telling you,
looking at
man.
selling my Sigmar army.
No,
My chaos warriors with.
We got to get you over to the Lords and Heroes side of things.
I have time for kind of one thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to, but I just there was
I'll
a
tell you
time
what,
where I was playing.
We'll play Spearhead.
I had played. I know you keep pumping the Spearhead.
It's a great
I've
game.
got. You know what? I have the Skaven for that. I have that Skaven.
There you go.
The
Let's do it.
Skaven Tide side
Yep.
of that box. That's
Yep.
what I'll use that for. But I am thinking that Chaos Warriors army with what's his name on the flying dragon, the 3-headed dragon,
Oh, Archaon?
Archaon.
You have that model?
It's all painted up by Colin, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the first thing I think I had him paint. It's
Let's
gorgeous.
talk offline.
All right, I'll show you the army. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably.
I
gonna
love
end
that
up-
model.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think I'm probably going to end up selling that off though. But anyway, what have you done? You have played some actual 40K.
Yes, I have.
What have you been up to?
So Cheyenne and I played at Geeky Teas and
Yeah, you talked about this place before.
yeah, Geeky Teas and Games in Burbank. Really cool place. They moved to a new location. They've got, I think it's 16 40K or miniatures tables.
Oh, they've moved to a new location since you talked about them last. You talked about them like 6 months ago, I think.
Okay, I played once in the old place, and I played several times in the new place.
Okay,
but anyway, they have like 16 miniatures tables. You reserve tables, or if you go in there and there's not being used, you can do it.
Do you have to pay?
Yeah, there's a table fee,
Fair.
$8 table fee, but it's the terrain they have is amazing.
Let me ask this just to get
Yes.
set stage. $8 for you and I to play
we each
together.
play each dollar. We each play $8.
We each pay $8.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So $16 for.
Right, for 2 people to play at the table.
Is there a time limit?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right, interesting.
And what's really cool is there are 4x8 tables or 4x6 tables, but they have these plastic runners on the shelves where you can lay them in to make a 44x60 play space.
Oh, interesting.
So that you can set up your 40K game to be regulation size
Gotcha.
without having to worry about, taping it off or whatever.
Gotcha.
It all slots in really nicely.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is really neat the way they have it
Next,
set up.
if you go there again, I'd like to see some pictures of that.
And I posted a bunch of pictures in the Facebook, but I will, or Discord, one or the other.
Okay.
But we can take a look.
Yeah.
So it was his Blood Angels against my Admech robots. That's the only army I have down south at the moment. I love that army. It's 12 Castellan robots.
Yeah.
It used to be 16 in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
previous edition, but you can only take 12. And it's a bunch of the little the tracked destroyer guys.
Yep.
And so I just love the army and the way it looks with 3 armigers. but it's not a very effective army in the current way of playing with the cards and things like that because of all the secondaries and all that kind of thing. And
plus you're playing an opponent who's really, really good.
Yeah, Cheyenne's really good at the tactics and the strategy,
especially
and
with Blood
figuring out,
Angels. Yeah,
and what he needs to do. And Blood Angels are super killy.
Yeah,
and so we played an asymmetric mission, establish control with a defensive line deployment. I like
this is from the cards.
Yeah, I like the asymmetric missions quite a bit. This is the deployment where the attacker comes from one corner and then the defender has kind of like a diagonal swath down 1/3 of the table. And you have to be careful because the corner that it leaves blank is actually enough room for somebody to deep strike.
Oh, okay.
So you have to figure out if you're going to spend a unit to defend against the deep strike, which I did with one of the destroyer units. And so, but it was pretty good. We were doing okay. But I failed 3 charges. And it's
close charges or 6-inch charges that
they were like 6, 8, something like that. But it's so much better to be charged by Blood Angels with their impact hits.
Yeah,
I decided that's a much better way to play the game.
The blood is warm.
I will say, Cheyenne had a shadow unit that kind of threw off the way that I deployed and started the beginning of the game. And
what do you mean by a shadow unit?
We got into I think it was turn 2.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, that unit's not supposed to be in my list.
Oh, gotcha. That's what you mean by shadow unit.
And I'm like, oh, the unit that you just used to score that objective?
Yeah.
So we tried to dial it back. We tried to dial it back, and it's like, okay, well, you can get those points. But I had already dedicated 2 units that direction.
Right. It changed the course of the game.
I'm not saying that I would have won the game at all because Cheyenne is just too damn good. But it did change the way I played.
This is why,
and it was fun. It was just
why
funny.
it comes up. It's like, oh, I had an extra Vindicator, and I still lost. It didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's
didn't make a difference to me.
He didn't do it on purpose.
No,
and,
of course not.
We're just playing to have
happens.
fun, and so it's not like there's money on the game.
I will say after that Vindicator fiasco with me though, I have never done that again. It was a once and to the point where I go through and I look at my list and I check
double check. Yeah.
I'm super paranoid about it ever since then because I just felt bad. And I'm not saying it. For me, it kind of ruined the experience, even though I lost because it was like, oh, I feel like this game doesn't count because it was, I mean, as silly as it sounds.
The way I look at them, the games don't really count.
They don't count at all. No.
But
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's now we just spent 3 hours doing something completely that I should have known better,
Right.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, but at least that unit didn't end up winning in the game.
No, but I mean, but then if
we caught it early
on. In that case, if I had won the game with the Vindicator, I would be like, well, I don't win.
Right.
That's, the fact
now this is so many years ago now.
Yeah.
It's like 8 years ago.
I was playing it
10 years ago. I'm trying to remember. Did you figure it out before the end of the game?
No.
Oh, it wasn't until after the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's a lot different too. Also, so a friend of mine named Sam, he's one of the guy who's in charge of the fencing booth at the Renaissance Fair, the Northern California Renaissance Fair. We have a booth called Dogberry's School of Fencing, and I'm one of the instructors there. And he's one of the guys that runs that booth. And I got him involved in miniatures back at a Dundracon one time. I sold him a Quar starter kit.
Oh, nice.
And he said, curse you, my fingers are all glued together. But he and his family, they love playing Necromunda. And they've been doing GW stuff. And he said, hey, you know what? I've never actually played 40K.
Oh, interesting.
In 10th edition. Can you run me through a game? And I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, just roll force.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't. So we met at Game Castle Fremont. And he was bringing a combat patrol of...
Was that today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The Space Wolves combat patrol with the Wolfguard Terminators and stuff like that, and the Wolfen. And I brought Ned's Ultra Orcs.
Okay.
And I was thinking he should do a Tau Word Bearers army. like a Tau army that's themed on word bearers.
But aren't the Tau like supposed to be resistant to the chaos influence?
No. But they do. But they're all for the greater good. Yeah. So it's like the word, because Lorgar is
back to your game.
Lorgar is perpetuating the good word.
Look, Ned doesn't need any more ego inflation on this show. So what happened today? Space Wolves versus Orcs.
Yeah. So he showed up at Game Castle, and he said, "Hey, do you mind if Carter, his son, adult son, he said, do you mind if Carter comes by and kind of learns as well, because he plays, Necromunda with this stuff like that." So when they got there, I said, "Well, guess what, Carter? You're playing against your dad." Oh, and I let him run the orcs. Oh, and so I was DMing the game basically and kind of running him through
how to play.
That's
very cool.
It was awesome. I had such a great time.
Yeah,
and they
You're that guy,
and they had a really good time. And so when they do stuff, I said, "Okay, well, hold on a second. Let's talk about why you made that choice. Yeah. And think about, he sent a group of boys really far up the board to take an objective. And then they were going to get charged by a bunch of Space Wolves. I said, okay, now think about this. Now, if you had moved them originally and just towed into the objective, you would have made that charge 4 inches worse.
A bit harder, yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah. And I didn't do it to say, hey, don't move them there.
Right.
It's like, no, you make the decision, do that, and let's talk about Let's talk about
why that wasn't maybe the strongest.
Well, and it could have been okay.
Why that was a good choice.
Yeah. And as it turned out, Carter won the game. And we used a combat mission, patrol mission right out of the rule book. And I basically wrote out cheat sheets. So I wrote down the enhancements, because you can get it in the app. It's free in the app. But I actually wrote it all out for him. So he had the data sheets. He had everything. And because they play a bunch of Necromunda,
look, the fact that they play Necromunda, like the concepts are not lost on them. Like, this is not
so the strength versus toughness and all that kind of stuff, they already had that down. I didn't have to explain, if it's equal, then it's 4s. And, I didn't have to do all that stuff. And
that doesn't even exist anymore, strength versus toughness in 40K.
Yeah, it does. The strength of the weapon versus the toughness of the model? Yeah, it does.
Oh, what am I talking about? To hits don't matter. Sorry.
Yeah.
The hits don't matter.
Right.
You're right. What am I?
The 7 chart.
It used to be
chart.
Yeah. It used to be also there was the weapon skill chart.
Yeah, right. But what threw them off is that I said, let's measure and see how far this charges. And like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm measuring the chart. And they had to do a double take.
You can't pre-measure.
You can't pre-measure Necromunda.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was kind of funny to watch them kind of stutter step on that, but it worked out well. So we had a great time.
When I go back to Necromunda, it's a big sticking point for me. I'm like, I can't measure this.
Yeah. There was a great thing right near the end of the game. The Wolfguard Terminators charged into his war boss.
Yeah.
And so they're rolling, and he's trying to save on his invuln save. And I say, well, he just got charged by 5 Wolfguard Terminators. You want to just pick him up? He was like, no, he can do it. He can do it.
No, he can't.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yeah, he was on 1 wound, and he survived an entire round of combat from these Wolfguard Terminators with a reroll.
Okay,
on one of the
didn't
saves.
Kill the Wolfguard Terminator.
No, he didn't kill them, but he didn't die.
He withheld.
He made it through a whole round of fighting. And
that's actually funny.
And at one point, he had failed one of the saves, and I was like, okay, well, you've got one more command point. And Sam, if you're good with it, I'm going to make a DM call. I'm going to let you spend a second reroll if you want to. And he was like, funny. Okay. And he rolled the 4 up.
That's
and
funny.
All 3 of us are like, yeah, oh my God. It was fun. It was a really fun game. They had a great time.
That's cool. That's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was really fun.
All right. If you hear yelling in the background, I don't know if
it's because the Broncos are on TV.
My wife is a huge Denver Broncos fan, and they are playing right now.
There's no accounting for taste.
As Ted Lasso said, that garbage ass team.
Yeah, agreed.
They're doing pretty good this year. You can say, they're 8-2 right now.
Okay, it's still Denver.
All right. What else we got?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and start talking about Titans. So we will be right back. All right, and we're back to finally talk about Titans.
Big stompy robots.
So where do we really start? So where I kind of wanted
How about
to
the lore
start-
and history? Can we start there?
Actually, let me kind of set the stage before we even get to that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The first time I became aware of Titans as a thing
Okay.
was the Forge World website.
Yes.
And I remember when we first started in this game, and Kintaro had pointed me to, and then they have this ARM Forge World and they make these things. I'm like, okay, well, is it the company? Yeah, it's part of the company and blah, blah, blah. And
Their boutique line.
yeah, that was what I ended up calling it. But
That's what they called it too.
I started looking at it and I was like, who would pay these ridiculous prices for these things? And then, you would see like these Titans and I thought, what a nightmare to assemble that would be. And it is. Nightmare to assemble.
It's its own, I mean, it's
Unless
its own
you
thing.
enjoy that
Right.
type of thing. It is such a big project. And I would look at it and be intimidated. And, I was gifted a Thunderhawk when Aaron pulled listeners together at one point to donate.
Right.
I had that Thunderhawk fly around probably 4 or 5 battles,
Right, yeah.
I mean, the Titans tend to not get used that often. This is as I'm looking at it and kind of going through. Eventually, I really loved the Warhound Titan and I really loved the Chaos Warhound Titan. And eventually I broke down and bought one.
Right.
And it sat in its box for a long time because this is a lot to assemble.
You didn't want to go through the extreme Forge World building?
This is what came out of that. I
So much.
I actually paid a company that shall not be named
Yes.
that is out there to assemble it, and it was done poorly.
Yes.
And our Extreme Forge World model building guest actually took the model from them and said, I'll assemble it. And he assembled it. And it's much better, but some damage was kind of done.
Yeah. Well, luckily it's a chaos one.
Well, you
It's
can
a
get away with
normal
it a
one,
little bit, right? And then I got the Reaver Titan. And boy,
It's a beautiful model.
that is a beast of a model. And Caleb painted that thing.
It's incredible.
And it's just amazing. And ask me if it's ever seen combat on the table. No.
Oh, really?
I've never. I have used it as a set piece.
Didn't you use it in one of the Adepticon Titan walks?
I used my Warhound in that.
Oh, okay.
I used the Reaver in a mission during the Maelstrom Mixer.
Oh, that's right. I knew that you had it on the table.
And that was the first time it ever actually had rules, but it wasn't even the rules
the
for
actual
that yet.
rules. Right.
I have used the Warhound a couple times. And what tends to happen with these models on a 40K table is they draw a ton of fire
Oh, yeah.
and they get destroyed
Pretty easy.
first or second round.
Yeah,
and
it's not
that's
that hard to kill a Warhound in
No.
the current rule set.
No, it's really
When
not.
it first came out,
So
it was hard.
yeah, even then, I ran it in 7th edition, maybe earlier editions. Now we had played games. I remember the first what became the Las Vegas Open was really Bay Area Open,
Right.
And it was up in
Which they still have.
fairgrounds,
Yep, the Alameda County Fairgrounds.
and
Big old barn.
I think it was a Big Jim that ran that event.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, ran a huge kind of apocalypse event, and back in the day, those were just incredible because things would detonate, and if they detonated, it destroyed terrain around it.
It would chain reaction
and
it. Yeah, yeah.
It was just fantastic fun.
It was much more of a Titanicus feel.
Yeah, and that's been kind of removed from the rules,
Yeah,
as
a little
you
bit,
will.
yeah.
So,
Well, I remember back in the day when I first started running stuff at Endgame, because it was such an older, long-standing community.
yeah,
They had some of the armor cast ones.
yeah,
And which, if you ever,
Which
get a
I'll be
chance-
honest, I think look really goofy.
They do.
That's
they do
my
look
my
really good.
opinion on it.
But if you go to and Google Armor Cast Titans,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of go, what the heck is that thing?
Well, they're based off some of the artwork too.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, I get it,
Artwork
but they're
from
but they're goofy
from
looking.
many years ago.
Yeah, from the early 80s and late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. And so a couple people had some of the Armor Cast Titans and stuff like that. So that was kind of my first take on them, and I hadn't really seen the
Forge
the
World
current
ones,
iteration. And the first time I saw one of those, I was like, "Oh, that is so elegant."
Yeah, in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they are incredible looking.
Yeah.
And they draw the eye. I mean, at the Maelstrom Mixer, mine was sitting over on a table.
Yeah.
And I kept messaging Caleb because I was like, people keep going over and taking pictures of it and looking at it. And
Well, and I've told this story before, but I also have a Warhound Titan.
Yeah.
That I painted at the first
Yeah.
Grand Narrative. And thanks to Dan Osborne for assembling it, and thank you to Caleb for running that class. Otherwise, it never would have got painted or assembled.
yeah.
But I used it the following year on the table, and I gave my opponents, all 6 of them, I gave them the choice. Do you want to play a list with it or a list without it?
Yeah.
And all 6 of them enthusiastically wanted
Wanted
to
it
fight
in
it
there.
because you
Yeah.
almost never see them on the table.
Right.
And if you know anything about the game, and a lot of these people who are going to this event know the rules pretty well, they know they're not that hard to kill.
No.
And so people are like, "Yeah, I'll fight that thing." I never get to see one of those on the table. And as they they rub their hands
Right.
in anticipation. And then I also have a Warlord Titan
Yeah.
that was one of the Nova Open charity event prizes.
Nice. Did you win that?
A friend of mine won it, the guy who did all my tattoos.
Right. You told me this. Yeah. Yeah.
And I got it from him. And I've used that a couple times in large events at GW stores.
Sure.
And again, it's like a set piece at the end of the table, but it can shoot at things on the table. And
Sure.
so I wasn't using the only actual rules that I used was the weapon profiles.
Right.
But as you say, people come in and are like, "Oh my God."
It does draw the
Warlord?"
attention.
And
Yeah.
it definitely draws attention.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been a fan for a long time. But I mean, as you look at where their placement is in 40K, in 30K,
Right.
et cetera, they are the largest units that you will see in the Warhammer 40K universe.
Well, the largest units available, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, just as Titan, the only thing bigger are the starships
Right. In the lore.
in the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Right.
Effectively.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. And also in the gameplay, sorry to interrupt, but
No, it's fine.
like if you were to join the Titan owners group, for example, they also consider the Thunderhawk and the Storm Eagle to be quote unquote Titan level models.
Is it the Storm Eagle? No, it's the.
Storm Eagle.
I thought that's the smaller one.
That's the Storm Raven.
You're right. You're right. Is the Storm Eagle the big one that's bigger than
The
the?
Sotard pattern Storm Eagle.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like
That's
double the
awesome
size of
looking.
a Thunderhawk.
Yeah, it's awesome looking.
Yeah, it's sitting on my shelf.
I didn't realize it was called a Storm Eagle. For some reason, I thought it was called something else. Anyway, so as we talk about this, I wanted to break down first kind of the Imperial Titans. These
Okay.
are the ones that we really see, other than Chaos, probably the most of. But the reason I wanted to start with these is because we can kind of talk about it from an Imperial perspective initially, and then the next episode of the show we'll talk about Xenos Titans, Chaos Titans.
Right.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
Xenos
Yeah,
and
Chaos and Xenos, yep.
So Titans in the Imperium are the embodiment of the machine god's power, right?
Correct.
The machine god, which is
They're gods of war.
the Omnissiah, right? Who is also as you know, in 30K, a sort of embodiment of the Emperor. So like the priests of Mars all worship the machine god. Some of them saw the Emperor as kind of the
Omnissiah.
manifestation of him,
Right.
Of the Omnissiah on Mars and on Earth, and he exploited that to a degree.
Right.
And so each of these Titans, especially in 40K, I mean, even in 30K, but especially in 40K, are considered sacred relics of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are,
and in the lore, they'll refer to them as gods of war.
right. I mean, because it's the biggest thing that's going to be on the field.
Yep.
And they are, they are costly. They are worshipped to a degree.
Oh, definitely.
And they're incredibly valuable in every regard. So making the decision to deploy them as well is an expensive one.
Right.
Especially the loss of one is a tremendously expensive thing to consider. The Collegia Titanica, which was founded during the Great Crusade, survived through the Horus Heresy and then became what is now the Adeptus Titanicus.
Right.
And the other thing I'll throw out there as we get started is that Titan legions are these kind of semi-autonomous forces within the Imperium. They are tied to the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are supported by the Adeptus Mechanicus, but they have a significant amount of autonomy outside of the
kind of
Adeptus
similar
Mechanicus.
to the night houses.
A bit, yeah. I would imagine there's the night houses often align themselves with Titanicus houses as well, and support those groups as well. Okay, so let's talk about the Titan classes. The Warhound Titan.
Yes.
We're skipping knights because they're not true Titans.
And we
knights.
did an episode or two on those.
An episode or two. And so let's talk about the Warhound.
Okay.
The Warhound is a scout class Titan, which sounds like really small. And in the comparison of it, it is a pretty small Titan, especially like when I've seen it in 40K, on a 40K table. I'm like, oh, it's a pretty big model, right? When you see it in Adeptus Titanicus, you're like, these are small.
Yeah.
These are small compared to the other guys. Scout class. So it's the smallest of the true battle Titans. It's still immense and carries a ton of armor, carries a ton of armaments. But it's designed for speed and flanking maneuvers.
Right.
And you really, really get a sense of that in Adeptus Titanicus. We'll talk about how these all play. But in a 40K game, it feels slow and ponderous.
Right.
So it's a very interesting thing. Like when you go see like either a Godzilla or King Kong movie.
Right.
And like the people on the ground see the monster moving.
Yeah.
It's tending to look like it's moving slow. Like it takes these huge strides, which kind of, which kind of like emphasizes the size of the thing. That's kind of how I picture like a Warhound Titan on the ground.
Right.
But when you're comparing it to these others, it seems like it's moving very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's faster than a Reaver, faster than Warlord, that kind of thing.
And they have the name Warhound, and they actually are like hunters. They're like, they're called hunting packs, where they'll deploy them in groups of threes and fours to go out and hunt around and scout and hunt as a pack,
spot things and then call in the bigger guns,
right?
But as a pack, they can also take things down.
Right. And they surround it and operate a lot like wolves in the wild in terms of how they take things down.
Yeah, it's a good example. That's a good example. Again, these are often the first of the Titan units deployed because they can get out faster than the other Titan units and start providing kind of intelligence in the eyes of the rest of the Legion.
And figuring out the priority targets and those kinds of things, right?
Yeah, their armaments can vary. Turbo laser destructor is probably the most damaging weapon it can carry. It can carry plasma blast guns. It can carry Vulcan mega bolters. Mine is equipped with my 40K one's equipped with a Vulcan mega bolter and plasma blast gun, mostly because I think those both look really cool.
Yeah, I think mine has a turbo laser destructor.
Yeah, that's a really
and
great
the mega bolters.
That's a really great like vehicle destroyer.
Yeah, I love the mega bolters.
Yeah, dude. First off, mega bolter sounds badass.
Yeah.
But second off, it is a very cool looking model on that unit.
And we'll talk about this also a little bit more later. But the engines themselves, the Titans themselves, they have their own, almost like their own consciousness, their own spirit.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk.
And the Warhounds, the spirit in the Warhound very much is
kind
aggressive, kind of that wolf-like spirit to it.
Yeah.
Which and it gets discussed a lot in the different books that talk about it. So
Yeah. The next is a mainline battle titan, the Reaver.
and that's the most common one probably.
Yeah. Common in terms of titans, which are still rare, right?
Right.
But yeah, I agree. This is kind of like the backbone, the working
Sherman tank
titan.
of
This is the non-commissioned officer in the army of right?
Yeah.
Like it does a lot of the work. It can move fairly quickly, not as fast as the Warhound.
I think of them like kind of like Predator tanks in a regular 40K army. They're the kind of the ones that do a lot of the
shooting,
the big work. They're your mainline tank, right?
Yeah. They're incredibly versatile.
Right.
In terms of the loadout that they can carry. They can carry close assault type weapons, like claws, that kind of thing.
Right.
They can carry much heavier weapons than
And they can also carry like big missile racks that that can hit things they can't see.
Yep. They are, as we said, the workhorse of the Titan thing. So they're the Titan's martial reliability. This is it's the thing that's going to carry most of the weight. But again, without the Warhounds, like all these things have to work in concert with each other. Without the Warhounds, they're kind of blindish.
Right.
So the interesting thing is they can carry some significant weaponry, even up to a volcano cannon.
Right.
In this case, which I have one of those too.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah. Okay, and then beyond that is the strategic class, which is the Warlord Titan. Now, this one you have.
I have a Warlord, yep.
Yeah. It is the most common God engine at the heart of a battle
It's like the anchor point of your maniple.
Right.
So a group of Titans that go into battle are called a maniple.
Right.
And so your most common Titan maniple will be a Warlord, 2 or 3 Reavers, and then an assortment of Warhounds that are going to go out and scout the flanks and protect your rear and that kind of stuff.
And I have in the notes here, it's a towering presence that's meant to dominate the entire war zone, not just the battlefield.
Yeah.
They carry immense amounts of firepower, volcano cannons, plasma annihilators, quake cannons, all this, missile launchers.
And what's really interesting is that the war, especially when you get up to the war, and this is true for the other Titans as well, but it really comes into its own in the Warlords. There's an entire almost like city or town riding around inside of it.
There's a lot of support units within it.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a Warlord Titan, you could have like guys like who basically live their entire lives in the shoulder of the
Warlord. You think?
Yeah,
I thought
because in the book Hell's Reach, there's a whole vignette about this guy who spends his entire life
I didn't realize
in the chapel on the shoulder of this Warlord Titan.
Oh, interesting. Because I certainly know that's true of the Imperator, which we'll talk about in a minute.
That's a city.
That one's massive.
A city on legs,
but citadel.
Yeah, on legs. But even on the Warlord, and they'll have like multiple units. They'll have like Skitari that ride around in its legs.
Yeah,
and can like jump out to protect it in the legs. And we'll talk about books later, but since I just finished it, John does some really, really great writing about Warlord Titans and Reaver and Warhound Titans, things like that in Drop Site Massacre.
I figured, yeah.
And because there's Legio Mortis goes to battle.
That's mine.
And there's a whole vignette about one of the Moderati who has taken over this one Chaos Titan and kind of his struggle with it. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay,
it's a brand
I'm
new
going to
book.
read this book, yeah.
Because it's a brand new book, but it really talks a lot about kind of the community that's inside this.
Interesting.
This whole
I didn't
structure.
realize at this level you had that amount of attachment.
Yeah.
Because the War Master, which is the Apex class Titans, these are even larger than Warlords. And as these things get larger, they move slower.
Yes.
They turn slower. They are incredibly huge.
And they require other Titans to basically like
support them,
cover their flanks and things like that. Because like, they can't index their weapons down low enough to shoot something that's at their feet.
Or something behind them can be a problem too. Yeah. So the War Master, as I said, larger than a Warlord. It's a relatively new addition in the lore, relatively speaking, in Adeptus Titanicus. And there's like tons of sub variants of this, the iconoclast, the nemesis, depending on whether you're trying to annihilate something or lay siege to something, that kind of stuff. But their presence is kind of the ultimate escalation point at this point.
Until you get to the Imperator Titan.
Is it Imperator or Imperator?
Imperator Titan.
I don't know.
Well, when I hear it in audiobooks, I say Imperator.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think it sounds cooler.
Americans say Imperator.
I'm American.
Just because of the, anyway, never mind.
Is it Nottingham or Nottingham? This is a city-sized.
It's crazy.
Mythic rarity is what we have in the notes here.
It is. It's like a castle, a citadel battle.
Yeah.
Thing on.
I don't know that anybody.
They look kind of silly.
I don't know that anybody. Like, I don't know that any Black Library book has written about an Imperator. Have they?
Yes.
Which one? Do you know?
That it's in.
If so, I wonder if it's one of the older books. Like, is it in one of the old word bearer books or?
No, I think it's in Drop Site.
Interesting.
The newest book, I think.
Really?
There's unless I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But there are people who have built these because they don't make them.
Right.
Doesn't make them.
You couldn't make this out of resin.
Right. So, but people have crafted their own.
Yeah.
Using foam core,
PVC piping,
and
like
plywood,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. MDF. It's amazing. If you get a chance, do some searching online, look at the image of these things. They are massive.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be, they're said to be kilometers tall.
Yeah. And they're the kind of thing in the lore, when they step down, you can feel it like miles away.
Sure. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
They function as mobile cathedrals. They carry shrines on their back, manufactorum on their back. Their entire garrisons, are within them and stationed on them.
So Dies Irae is a chaos. Well, it ends up being traitor Titan. Dies Irae is a Imperator class Titan. It's actually in Drop Site Master.
Okay. I got to read this book.
Yeah, but that Imperator class does show up at other places in the lore too. In fact, I think it's in Horus Heresy
Probably
5 or 7.
I can't keep track of 65 books plus
but it's in the black books.
Yeah.
I think Alan writes about it in.
Oh, interesting.
I
I'll
think
have
Alan
to take a look.
about Dies Irae. I think it's in book 5.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take a look. But I mean, they're basically, they're so rare, they're almost mythical.
Right.
At this point.
It's like humans almost never see a Space Marine. Space Marines almost never see an Imperator Titan.
Probably Titan legions
rarely see them.
So this is like the ultimate symbol of Imperial might. And then in the notes here, I see here your note here about Dies Irae. Their scarcity adds mystique. They're too valuable, too rare, simply impossible to field widely in the current.
They just don't
Imperium.
exist to that level, right?
Until you see one, then you're like,
Right,
yeah. Your point about people building them, like those are projects unto themselves. And obviously there's no rules. No rules have ever been published for these things.
No.
So it kind of just becomes part of the battlefield.
Right. But you can bootstrap up rules. Yeah, you can make up rules, right?
Yeah. And then I wanted to talk about the Psi Titans.
It's forbidden. We don't talk about them. It's a forbidden topic.
A forbidden topic. So Psi Titans were among the most mysterious and terrifying god machines ever built by the Imperium. They combine the raw mechanical might of the Collegia Titanica and the psychic power of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica.
Yeah, so they actually have a special order called Ordo Sinister.
Yeah.
And it's like super secret. It's basically it's an arm of the Inquisition. It's affiliated with the Inquisition.
The Ordo Sinister originally reported to Malkador the Sigillite.
Yeah.
Do you know what author is credited with coming up with the Psi Titan and the Ordo Sinister?
I'm going to say it's either Alan or Dan Abnett.
I would have thought so too. It's Aaron Dinsky-Bowden.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, good on him.
Yeah, I would have thought it was Alan. But
I thought it was going to be. I thought it would have been Dan because of all of the stuff he does with the Inquisition.
Yeah, but no, it's
Aaron Dinsky-Bowden.
So their mission is to.
That's why he's one of my favorite authors ever.
He's so good. to wield psychic power through the largest weapons platform humanity had ever built. And crucially counter demonic powers unleashed during the Horus Heresy.
Right.
That was kind of the objective.
Right.
They have them in Adeptus Titanicus,
Yes.
the game. Yeah.
And they look pretty wild.
They're really cool looking.
Yeah.
But the cool things about them, I thought, other than their secretive nature and the fact that they're super dangerous and rare, is they have a modified reactor and cortex. So instead of the usual plasma reactor that a normal and machine spirit that a normal Titan has, the Warlord Sinister houses a psychic matrix that allows it to channel warp energy through the frame.
And they do that because they have a bound alpha grade psyker.
Yeah.
Who's like stuck in a sarcophagus in the middle of this thing.
In it. Yeah.
And it's
so cool.
It's like almost like a forced psychic dreadnought kind of thing.
They wield psi cannons.
Yep.
Like everything is psychic. This is such a cool concept. Like conceptually, this is super duper cool, I think.
And the armor is psychically insulated. I think they call it black carapace or something.
Yep.
It's wild.
Yeah. So even loyalist Titan crews fear to walk alongside these things, right? Because you have like
it's like the
fear of the psychic
power. The other thing about them is if you're nearby it, just like if you're nearby an alpha grade psyker or even a blank, you can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it within your body. And the Psi Titans have these hexagrammic wards that are inscribed all over the armor. Mm-hmm. And those give off their own energy as well. So they're pretty intimidating.
I like this quote. Some Princeps claimed that Psi Titans didn't walk; they dreamed themselves across the battlefield.
That's awesome.
Like that is super cool. So I think I had to end on that.
Oh
one,
yeah,
the Psi Titans.
Yeah.
I just thought they were some of the coolest. So
I don't know why though. It's a forbidden topic.
That's right. It's forbidden lore.
You're going to get a knock on the door.
So the organization into Titan Legions, each Titan Legion has its own heraldry, its own colors, traditions. Legio Mortis is the Death Heads, the Legio Griffonicus, the War Griffins.
Right.
They all, as you've seen, there's tons of artwork and thought.
Yeah. And they have heraldry, much like knights, the knight models, but also like old
right. I mean, just
medieval knights.
Yeah, just like Space Marines though. Space Marines are effectively just space medieval knights. I mean, that's what's cool about them.
Yeah.
But they do this on a grander scale.
Yep.
And then, as you mentioned earlier, they're structured into maniples, which are in Adeptus Titanicus. Those are like the Force Org charts that you make. They're basically organizations of knights to work in different ways together.
And that's exactly what they are. They're force organizations.
Yeah. And then there is rivalry, but also loyalty between various legions dating back probably beyond the Horus Heresy.
Oh yeah.
And then they also carry close ties to Forge Worlds, much like the Knights that we talked about in the last couple of stuff. They need support and that kind of thing.
Even more so than Knights.
Yeah.
More so. Because they have, as I was saying before, they'll have entire cadres of humans
that
riding around inside them, basically live inside them.
I mean, Warhound, I think
it's not as many.
I think there's 3 in the pilot compartment. Maybe I think there's like leg areas that like you can have people in, but
I think there's one for each weapon arm.
Yeah,
and at least one for each leg, and then there's the 3 in the head.
Yeah. So,
but the Warhounds or the Warlords and up actually will have like Skitari that ride around in the leg.
Yeah.
And deploy.
Well, and they're also defensive there. Right. For any kind of.
I really want to do a Skitari army with a knight with a Titan walking.
Oh, they just announced a new. Is it a kill team with these guys that I was like, those guys are going to be perfect for my cultist guys of my.
That new kill team looks really cool.
Yeah, for my demon engine list. I think those would make great cultists.
Yep.
So I have to kit bash a few things, but they look cool. All right. Command crew, you talked about this as well. You have the Princeps and the Moderati.
Right.
Princeps are kind of the master of the Titan. They're directly linked through a mind impulse unit into the Titan. They're the one that is battling with or I don't want to say subservient to, although maybe definitely the case in a chaos location.
Basically, they have to dominate the spirit of the Titan.
Right.
And that they actually talk about that in the books, that they have to dominate that spirit and keep it under control.
Right.
Because if they don't, the Titan will go off on its own, just doing crazy stuff.
Yeah. And then you have the Moderati, which is the Princeps lieutenant. They're handling like the weapon systems, the navigation, and the communication stuff.
And much like navigators or astropaths on starships, Princeps and Moderati can actually have their life forces drained by the Titan and by their connection to it.
Yeah.
Long-term Princeps, their physical appearance will change. They'll look drawn.
There's some that are literally in the larger Titans just encased in like vats of fluid.
Amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
That's in Hell's Reach. When Grimaldus goes in to talk to the woman who's the Princeps of the Warlord Titan, she's in an amniotic.
Yeah.
Almost like a dreadnought.
They've done that to a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's that uncommon.
Right.
So, I mean, I think the point is the Titans are not just machines. They are.
Titan death too.
But they are, there is a living almost entity to them.
Yes.
And as you said, the Princeps has to control that. Like
dominate the spirit.
I kind of think of it like breaking a horse too initially, right?
Yeah.
Like they
very
have
much.
to get it under control.
Yep.
Then you have ground support for these things. Well, I didn't even mention the tech priests that tend and care for the thing, but then you have ground support. As I talked about earlier, the Collegia Titanica is it's a section of the Adeptus Mechanicus that includes Imperial Titans. So they know how to care for them, take care of them, prepare them, ship them, et cetera, et cetera.
And they have 4 basic divisions. So there's the Divisio Mandati,
Divisio trying to do fake Latin.
Telepathica, the Divisio Investigatus, and then most importantly, the Divisio Militaris.
Yeah.
And so the Militaris is what you commonly see. Those are the division that transports and supports the Titans in war that you see the most about in the books.
Yeah.
The Mandati are they're missionary orders, and you don't see this very much in the lore, but they basically go out and they go out with the Inquisition and Arbites and things like that, and they're missionaries.
What level of Inquisition issue do you have to have that you're like, I'm deploying a Titan?
Some Titans, yeah.
I mean, it sounds small in comparison to like I'm destroying a world, but still, I mean, at what point is a Inquisitor like, hey, bring down the Titan?
Yeah, exactly. The Divisio Telepathica.
Yep, that's the Psi Titan.
That's the secretive ones, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's and again, you don't see much written about this, the Divisio Investigatus. And that's the kind of the
research
R&D
and development
unit. So they're the ones who come up with new stuff or try to
go to find new stuff. Yeah.
Or find old stuff.
Which is new to them.
Yeah, new to them, right, exactly. Right. But I think that's probably how, it was probably the Investigatus that deployed that War Master for the first time after having Warlords being the key point, Yeah.
So they're transported around in coffin ships, which are massive vessels that can deploy Titans to the ground.
Right. And when they deploy them down, it's almost like, think about it like a cross between a citadel and a drop pod. Mm-hmm. Because it opens up and it's like a fully realized... It has like the what do you call it, the racks and all the stuff in it.
I'm trying to remember the book I read where it dropped down to deploy the Titan and like the door like opened. No. It opened and like crushed like a bunch of troops underneath it.
Geez.
Like enemy troops. Like they dropped like into an enemy area and like crushed like a bunch of troops, and then the Titan came striking. I can't remember what book that was, but it was amazing. You also have the Magos Autocratoris, which these are specialist Magos tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus who oversee the sustenance and repair and rearming.
I think of them as
Titans.
the pit crew.
Yeah.
They're the pit crew for the Titans.
for the Titan Formula One races. And the Corpus Secutari, who often walk at the feet of the Titans.
Right. So the Secutari, they're the ones who have the Scutari and the version of Scutari which are referred to as Titan Guard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they have an organization within themselves, and they basically protect the Titan from,
right.
Because as powerful as these Titans are, they're susceptible. Like if somebody gets in close to them, you know, they're susceptible to that. Like, you know, enough ants crawl on you.
Right.
It's gonna hurt.
Well, and there's a whole thing in, again, in Drop Site Massacre where these land raiders get in between the feet of this warlord.
And the warlord can't reach down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you play, for people who play 30K Horus Heresy, you'll recognize like Axiarchs and Hoplites and Peltasts. Those are units in Horus Heresy. Those are Titan Guard.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So let's do this. Normally I would take a break here. Let's talk about the next section is really about their representation in various games.
Okay.
Let's talk about 40K.
Okay.
The representation in 40K, and then we'll take a break and then we'll come back. But,
okay.
So I'm kind of breaking up our notes here a little bit.
Okay.
So in 40K, we talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the game. Like it really depends on the model. Like Warhounds are on, you can see them on the table surface.
1,100 points.
And since everything can wound something in 40K now, they're fairly susceptible to being destroyed. You said they're 40 points. I didn't even look at how many wounds they have currently.
I don't know.
I don't know, but regardless, like a number of las cannons are going to bring.
I think it's 40. I think it's 40 wounds.
So okay, let's say 40, but like enough shots brings something like that down fairly straight. The thing is, okay, we'll talk and then I'll give my opinions on this. So in 40K, so you have Warhounds, probably the most common. You're going to see Reavers. Reavers are going to do a lot of damage, but again, as I said at the beginning of the thing,
Reavers are 2,000 points.
Yeah. So it's the size of an army.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't really translate, right? Like it doesn't really translate to, hey, I'm going to bring a Reaver and you bring a 2,000 point army and let's play.
Right now.
Like it just doesn't work that way.
A Warhound is 40
wounds.
A Reaver is 60.
60. Okay. So my point is like an entire army can take 60 wounds out of this thing fairly easily, especially when you're like, oh, by the way, my Blood Angels have +1 to their wound, so they're wounding on 5s, and so I just charge you and I hit and I just destroy everything. And this is our point. Like while it's powerful on its own, it requires support.
Right.
So realistically, the only time you're going to see a Reaver Titan is not even in a 3,000 point game.
No.
I mean, it needs to be a significantly larger game than that.
Right.
Or you're going to have, I would take my 2,000 point list against a Reaver Titan any day.
Yeah, and I would, even with the Warhound being 1,100 and having played...
That's more than half of your 2,000 point army.
Having played a lot of games with the Warhound Titan I would not want to play it really in a game that's less than 3,000 points. Having a Titan be more than a third of your points, I don't think it works.
No, I agree.
I mean, the Warlord Titan, I don't remember how many points it is, but it's 1,000. I mean,
it's going to be a lot.
It's 100 wounds.
Yeah, but
it's tough 16.
Yeah,
2 plus 5 plus.
Throw enough knights in there, but anyway, yeah. So I mean, so I think when you see these things and you talk Warhammer 40,000, you really are talking kind of special events,
right?
Larger games.
Yep.
You know, and back in the day when Apocalypse started, like this is where they were designed to be in. You know, I am bringing 10,000 points of army, of which 2,000 points is this Reaver Titan or Warlord Titan or whatever the case was.
And having run a number of Apocalypse games, what happens is turn 1,
everybody shoots at the
Everybody shoots and kills the Titan
because they want to kill it.
They don't. Yeah, they're scared of it because people are scared of what it can do. And in fact, the very last Apocalypse game that I ran at Endgame, I had a rule that if any of the Titans got killed turn 1, they could walk back on the table in turn 2.
Yeah. One of the interesting things that I think they added in the last version of Apocalypse they did,
I love it.
Yeah, was they treated it more like what was the game?
Epic.
Epic.
Oh, Legions Imperialis.
No, because what would happen is you would even like it's my first round, my warlord gets blown up.
Yeah.
Okay. I still get to take all my actions for that turn.
Well,
and
that's
then
how
everything is applied at the end of
That's
the
how
round.
Legions Imperialis is too. That's how Epic
I'm
is.
sorry. When you said Legions Imperialis, I was thinking Adeptus Titanicus. Yeah. So I actually really appreciated
I like that.
what that allowed you to do was have a large scale game like that. And that exact situation. Okay, so you're only going to get one round out of your Titan, but he's going to get to shoot at something.
Right. He's going to delete something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is assuming you went second, right? Because there were times where I put my Warhound on the table, never shot a thing.
Right.
Like it was destroyed before I ever did anything. And
Me
so,
too. Oh.
Clearly something happened good with Denver. I'm hearing
Denver either scored or got scored on.
Yeah. Still a tie game. So anyway, with only 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
And the other thing for Titans is the things like we were talking about, the Adepticon Titan Walk.
Yeah.
Where it's just Titans versus Titans.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Adeptus Titanicus.
Yeah. So, before we even get into that, like, again, I just want to talk 40K,
right?
And then we'll take a break. One of the interesting things, and I'll dip my toe into Horus Heresy just for a second. The original edition.
We're talking about 40K here.
This is why. The original edition of Horus Heresy. Super heavies were a percentage of your army.
Right.
And what that allowed to happen was you would say, well, I think they could be at most 20% of your army.
25, yeah.
Something like that. And so what that meant was I'm not going to see a Baneblade or a Fellhammer or a Titan unless we are playing X size of a game. And at 8th, maybe earlier edition, we talked about this in the Knights episode, they made a change. I think it was 7th edition, where they were like,
you can have one Lord of War.
Lords of War can be added to any game of 40K.
Right.
And it really was, in my mind, Games Workshop's attempt to sell some of these models. Fine. Good on you.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, that's what you're here to do, is sell these products. But it was not ever, the scale of a Warhammer 40K game was not designed for that type of unit.
Right.
And so it really was frustrating to me to see what I thought was a really elegant system that had been brought up in Horus Heresy gaming, poorly implemented into 40K gaming.
Right.
For what I felt was I'm chasing $1. Right?
Right.
Like it kind of broke the game. And to a degree, I still think it's not my favorite flavor of playing the game, which is why I'm on the Knights thing. I'm a little like, okay, let's see how this goes. So anyway, I mean, that was kind of the point I make. Like, I think they're great. I think they're cool units. I think they're super cool. I think they belong in massive games.
I think, going back to your point though about current 40K with Knights, is because a lowly guardsman with a flashlight gun can wound it.
Yeah.
That really changes the dynamic.
Tremendously.
It really changes the dynamic.
Does it change the dynamic
enough?
In a good way, would be my argument. For that type of unit. Should a guardsman with a las rifle be... I can fire an M16 at a tank and do nothing.
Right. I mean, I think that, well, I've long said this, maybe not on this show, but I think there should be a tipping point.
Yeah.
Right. So if your weapon is strength 4, it should not be able to harm something that's 3 times tougher.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
There's various role-playing games that run into this as well. Like in particular, I'll talk about a game called Rifts, where you had damage and then you had mega damage.
Right.
And mega damage was like damage times 10 or times 100. Yeah. Like it was like, and so it sounds cool because you have like these robots and stuff flying around firing mega damage weapons, but then you had like pistols and things that could do mega damage. And so then you'd like have like these characters that like walk into a town with a pistol that can punch a basketball size hole through walls, and you're like, why would I ever get out of my armor? I mean, so it kind of breaks down. That's where it kind of, I'm talking about like mentally, it just kind of breaks down. Right. Also, in a 2,000 point game of Warhammer 40K, what Collegia Titanicus is going to drop a
Titan
in that, and maybe you're part of a larger war, but
because
it just doesn't fit.
They're company-sized armies, and you're not going to bring a Titan against a company.
Yeah, I mean, now you may be a pocket in a larger war, and so it's here. And I mean, you can justify it however you want, and that's fine. I just feel like it's not a good fit for that size of game, personally.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it is really fun in bigger games.
Yeah,
but again, be aware, you're the target.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice.
You got to give a lot of other threats so they don't just focus on that thing.
If they're going to leave the whole thing with anything can wound anything, then they probably should bring back void shields.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So that's enough about Warhammer 40K and Titans.
Yep.
We're going to, in the next half of the show, we're going to delve into kind of how Titans are represented in other games beyond 40K that are out there right now. And then we'll kind of summarize all that. So we'll be right back.
Sorry I'm late, guys. I just finished a tank weathering class with Justin from
Hey, Travis, that's great. But Blake and I came up with the greatest event ever.
Really? I'm all ears.
All right, tell him, Ed. But start with the best part.
Okay, it's a 40K GT, and the best part is it takes place on the beach.
But
I know what you're going to say. How can you enjoy the beach when you're playing all day long? Here's the best part. It's only 2 leisurely 3.5-hour matches per day.
Yes, but
Let me stop you right there, Travis. The best part is this is an all-inclusive 4-day, 3-night retreat with lodging and 10 meals included for only $400.
I know, because
I haven't got to the best part yet, Travis. The best part is it's in Hawaii.
guys, that's great. But it's already being done.
Really?
Yes. War on the Shore is a GT that takes place from January 8th to the 11th in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii, and it incorporates everything you've already said. But you want to know what the best part is?
What?
It's for charity.
For more information, head to tablewarcharities.org/events and aloha.
All right, and we are back.
And Denver won, so we don't have to worry about that part anymore.
Probably don't have to hear Shell yelling. Okay, we talked about 40K.
Yes.
I want to talk about probably what I think is the best game. Now, I haven't played Legion Imperialis, so I can't. But Adeptus Titanicus.
Great game.
The best game where Titans are represented.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, not the best game ever. Although it's pretty darn good.
It's pretty good.
It's a detailed rule set. It's I remember reading it the first time. I've said this before, but like reading the rules, I was like, I don't understand this.
Right.
Like, and
once
then
you actually play it.
And you play it, you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, every Titan has its own little card that you track everything on.
Control board. Yep.
Control board. That's a term. It is for Titans skirmish scale. So meaning you are only, putting a few units out there. I mean, I would say
like 5 and 7, 8,
maybe 10.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch
size.
of knights in there.
Yeah. The
some
knights look
warhounds.
so tiny.
The knights look super tiny.
In a Titanicus game.
The game is fantastic. Like,
Yes.
And I promise you, like, if you have played any Games Workshop games, you will go 2 rounds of this game and be like, I got it.
Right.
And there's still like a few idiosyncrasies to it, but like in general, like if you're familiar with these games, you will pick this up very, very quickly.
It's so cool. Stuff blows up and there's chain reactions. You actually almost root for your own Titan to get blown up just because it's so
half
crazy.
the time. Yeah. I mean, wins are great, but like half the time it's just fun seeing what happens when a Titan explodes. You know, everybody yells engine kill. And then the Titan spins around in place, fires its weapon as it's falling down, destroys one of its own friendly Titans that detonates and then destroys the Titan next to it. So, I mean, like things like that happen fairly regularly.
And in the lore, they talk about when a plasma reactor goes up.
It can be massive.
Yeah.
And it does massiff damage to the stuff around in this game. Have you played this game at all?
Yeah.
When did you play?
I played at the cafe and I played.
Do you own an Adeptus Titanicus arm?
Yeah.
So one of the interesting things about the models themselves at this scale is even the Reaver and the Warlord Titans are a project.
Oh, yeah.
They are not it is not just like I'm assembling a Rhino or assembling a Land Raider.
No.
It is way more involved than that.
I would say they're harder to build than a Knight.
I agree.
A 40K size Knight.
I would agree with you.
It's almost like building a Forge World Titan.
Yeah,
Just almost. Not quite as many pistons, but
the pistons.
Yeah.
Because you have to clip them to the exact right length you want to clip them for the pose. It's not quite that. And certainly it's plastic, so it's easier. And the instructions are quite good.
Much better than the ones for the Forge
World stuff. But it is an ordeal to assemble one of these. Like it is. And especially if you're like, well, I want to leave the armor plates off because I'm going to paint them separate.
Yeah, Josh did me a solid and built some for me.
It's a multi-hour project too. Like even assembling those warhound or war dogs, like they're more complicated than those.
Really,
especially at the Reaver and up size.
Yeah.
Right. The Warhounds are a bit simpler.
Right.
And certainly the Knights are super easy to assemble. Look, none of these are hard to assemble.
It's just time consuming.
It's time consuming.
Right.
And what you would think is fairly straightforward, and Austin Lynn has assembled most of mine at this point because I added things to him and he just assembled them for me. So I really appreciate that. I mean, I paid for it, but I appreciate it.
Right, yeah.
I think I got a very good deal for what I got. They are like, I'm not trying to put people off it. I'm just saying, set your expectations.
Right.
You're not going to slap it together and have it on the table immediately.
Right.
The game is not being produced anymore.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But what I will say is the game feels kind of complete.
Yeah.
Meaning you can get a hold of the rules still fairly easily. You can get the models because they are used for Legions Imperialis. And you can still play all this stuff. And it is such a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Now, here's the rub. So many people have come to me and been like, oh, should I get into it? I said, does somebody else in your area play?
Yep. Because
if somebody else is not playing, or you do not want to invest in two entire forces so that somebody can play with you, you are going to find it very lonely. It is a niche game.
Sure.
And it's not cheap to get into either. Like you're still paying some significant money. Like a Warlord Titan is not a cheap thing to buy at this scale.
So but the cool thing is
the scale doesn't go down at the same size from 40K level to.
But the cool thing is that they are still live and playable and supported in Legions Imperialis.
Right.
And so even if you don't have anybody in the area who regularly plays Adeptus Titanicus, if there is a play group that's playing Legions Imperialis, you can still use your Titans.
Yeah.
Now, you can't use as many in your army, but you can still use your Titans.
But also, if people who are playing Legions Imperialis wanted to dip into Adeptus Titanicus, they could go the other way too.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly, it's a good source for getting maybe some crossover stuff. Yeah. And if my experience is that people who play some of these more I don't know,
specialist
niche, but specialized games, Imperialis, things like that, they're more willing to do something that's a little bit experimental, right? Where maybe you have a maniple of Titans. Right.
Yeah.
And you use them in Legions Imperialis, and you have some play against somebody and say, okay, you're going up against this maniple of Titans.
Yeah.
Where the Legions Imperialis rules don't necessarily support doing it that way.
Right.
Being able to house rule some stuff.
There is a mission where it's all Titans in Legions Imperialis. But going back to Adeptus Titanicus real quick. The important thing about this game to understand is that Titans are the main.
Yes, they are the game.
They are the game.
Right.
And where you really see all the stuff we talked about earlier with Scout Titans and Battle Line Titans and all this, you see in that game, oh, look how much faster these Warhound Titans are than the Warlord Titan. my Warlord Titan, which is rocking like 2, I think, big volcano cannons or whatever he rocks and builds up a bunch of heat and stuff.
Right.
He hardly usually moves during the game very much. Like he'll move a little bit here or there, but I think he's moving like 4 inches or something like that at a time. Whereas my Warhounds, especially when you're pushing their reactors,
they're bounding out.
I think going like 12 inches, you know, I mean, and I had a case in a game I was playing where my Warhound was running circles around a Reaver or Warlord. I don't
that's
remember
important
which.
because shooting it from behind is
super dangerous for the target, right? And so like you could really see how it's supposed to work as a game. And it is one of the most elegant rule sets.
Yeah. And the other thing that's cool about it is that you get a sense for how the relative movements of the and uses of the Titans are, but you also get a much better feel for the operation of a Titan. You alluded to it, you know, managing heat, managing weapon systems, figuring out, you know, how much
void
can I
shields,
push, how much can I push it in this where I need to step behind this building because I need to recharge my reactors and these kinds of things. This is the kind of stuff it never really comes to the fore in the larger scale games, but in Titanicus, that is the game. Yeah. And so you really get a sense of what it means to kind of pilot a Titan because you're basically piloting.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll never
really
forget.
Cool. Really cool.
And it plays significantly different from like 40K, from Necromunda.
And I will say for the older kind of grognardy kind of players, you are going to feel some BattleTech overtones here.
Well, sure. So I think
some similar things about managing heat and those kinds of things.
I mean, those are common. I mean, yes, it's in BattleTech, but it's in several other games too, where you have that. But I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's not as many boxes you fill in.
No.
As you do
it's much more elegant. It's much more elegant than. But to me, the first time I played Titanicus, I felt, oh, you know what? This is a 21st century version of BattleTech.
Sure.
It felt very much like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly learned lessons from.
Yes.
And this is how I feel about the space game, Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah.
Battlefleet Gothic. Everybody talked about it so much, you know. Chris and Justin would be like, "Oh, that was the best game ever," and I'm like, "Okay, let's play it."
It's clunky.
And then we play it, and I'm like, "This is the clunkiest hunk of junk." Like, I can see why people liked it, but like, this doesn't hold up in this day and age. Adeptus Titanicus has learned from all those things.
Yeah, it's much more elegant,
and it is a really crisp rule set. It's almost a shame that it's not sold anymore.
I agree.
And then they've pivoted to
Legions Imperialis,
which this is a game that is not focused on Titans being the main part of the game. And in fact, a lot of times Titans aren't even present in it. But it focuses on how Titans support various ground forces in a
vice
battle.
Versa.
Yeah. And they're treated as the walking war machines that they are, and they're huge and imposing, and they're high impact units. But they're deployed as a separate detachment within the game itself.
And you're not managing things at the same level that you do in Titanicus.
Yeah. And we really should have been able to get Josh on this episode because he absolutely loves Legions Imperialis. Like, this is
that's his current game.
This is the game he loves the most, and he has gone to
Adepticon,
multiple events, and come back with trophies from those events playing this. Again, how Titans are represented there, like, you're playing much larger games to bring your Titans in these games. There is, like I said, a mission where it's all focused on Titans. I don't know how that plays because I haven't been involved in that. But again, the focus of Legions Imperialis is not Titans.
Right.
They are in addition to.
Right. And in fact, I think that Legions Imperialis is a really good representation of the number of models and number of units that should be involved in a 40K game before you see a Titan.
Yeah.
Right.
I would agree with you.
Right. And so if you were taking the Legions Imperialis army and scaled it up to 40K, which is, dozens of units, it would be a 16 by 24 table. that's when you'd start to see Titans come in.
Yeah, I agree.
And that kind of, really shows you what the scale should be.
Titan weapons, even in like 7th edition, like they had a range that was like, yes, this thing can fire 150 inches.
Right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
On what table am I playing? Yeah. Oh, an apocalypse table. That's where I'm playing something where it shoots 10, 12 feet, you know?
Right. We used to do it where they would shoot across different tables.
Yeah. I love it. And it has its place.
Yes.
It totally has its place.
Yes.
So then you have Legion Imperialis, where the Titans are the top tier units.
Right.
They have void shields. They have structure destruction, so they can destroy things around them. And they have unique models. Here's the mode, Titan Death, which is built around the use of Titans.
Right, yeah.
But my understanding,
great book too,
and my understanding from Josh though is like they're really not the focus of this.
Right.
So guys who had invested heavily in
Adeptus
Titanicus, you have those models, but like not all of them are going to see the field.
Right.
Okay.
Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy. This is the 3rd edition of Horus Heresy out now. Launched with a bit of drama. Horus Heresy 3rd edition. Sky, who had pre-ordered and gotten a bunch of these, had something like...
Sometimes I really hate the internet.
Several hundred of these people backed out of buying them. The people who are playing this
love it.
Like they are incredibly passionate about
It's because people got really, really janky about partial leaks. I mean, it's like, come on, people.
You have to look.
You got to try it.
You can't look at things in isolation.
Yeah,
you have to look at the whole game. And there are some rules in here that I'm aware of, not regarding Titans, but just 3rd edition. That I'm like, oh, that's kind of a clever rule, like the way charges work, and I'm like, oh, I mean. Is it way more crunchy than 40K? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, way more. But this is where it belongs.
That's where it belongs, right?
Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean, when I was heavily into Horus Heresy, I was playing more of that than 7th edition. And I was like, this is the way 7th edition should be played.
Yeah. Well, and you can be more crunchy than, well, I don't want to get in a whole Horus Heresy thing.
Hey, you can bring it up. That's all right. We got
I'm just saying, because you don't have Orcs and Tau and Eldar and all those other things.
You can dial it in.
You can focus it on, yes, your Space Marine armies can be a little bit more crunchy because you're only dealing with Space Marines.
This is true. I would agree with you there. So, but in here, they are treated as the massive war machines they are, not just very big vehicles.
Like, super heavies or whatever,
Right. And because of their size and impact, you'll see them used as like dedicated Titan versus Titan or Titan kill type missions.
Right.
So there's like these engine kill missions in 3rd ed. And they're not just an expensive unit you're dropping down into a normal list, which is my problem with them in 40K. Right. They're not just treated like a regular battle line unit.
They're considered game changers.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they have these unique rules that, make them, they support that game changing nature of them.
Right.
They're high impact, special mission, heavily modified category of unit, and they have multiple defensive layers, void shields. Location-based armor, critical damage tables once the armor is depleted, that give them this very distinct feel from a normal unit game. They're almost a game unto themselves within the game. And that really appeals to me.
Right. And that's where you get a little bit more, you feel a little bit more of that Adeptus Titanicus feel to it. In that scale.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this is so difficult to do in the current 10th edition meta. Like they would have to bolt on if you were going to change it. I will bet you there are people who are better at game design than certainly you or I are. Could figure out a way that this works really well.
Sure. And I'm sure there's people out there who have done it already.
Maybe
have come up with some really cool.
Or what could you lift out of Horus Heresy that would translate over, right?
Right.
Because this is kind of how I think this is more in line with my vision of how a Titan should be in the game.
Right.
So anyway, there you go. They're huge power. They have a battlefield presence. Titans should inspire fear and awe. Like it should be hard for infantry units to even.
Well, there's stories of infantry units that completely break from the field when one shows up.
Right.
They're like, I'm out of here, dude. I'm gone.
I would.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Okay. So we've talked a lot about Titans in various game systems.
Yep.
Those game systems are all great in their own way, I think. I think 40K is a great game. I don't know that it supports well these kind of things unless you're playing like Apocalypse size games. But there's Titans that have been written about in 40K and 30K literature.
Yep.
In other books.
Right.
You know, I think the seminal Titanicus by Dan Abnett was a just fantastic novel where I think it was the first time we got a look of kind of inside. And the thing that surprised me was how much it's like almost like submarine warfare.
Okay.
Right? Like you have like sonar pings, you have like, oh, we think we see something out here. No, it's a echo. You know, you had the Warhounds out trying to scout out things. Like it for the first time, I kind of saw this, and it brought me back, like seeing this book and having read Titanicus. It brought me back to one time when Jeff and I interviewed Dan about Double Eagle back when it first
came out. Yeah.
Not when it first came out, like it had already been out of print, but we had found it and then we got him on.
Oh, okay.
And like it had been out of print for a while, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that book in a while." And we brought him on.
It's funny because they've reissued it. Now in a limited edition.
Well, because they have a new one in it too.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize actually the main pilot in that is in the Gaunt's Ghost novels.
Yeah.
I just didn't draw the line until I started going through Gaunt's Ghost, and I'm like, wait a minute. Jagdia is her name.
Jagda.
Yeah.
Jagda. Yeah.
So the thing I appreciate. So this brought me back to this discussion we had with Dan, where we were talking about Double Eagle, and he was talking about how at the time that he was writing that, like they'd given him a couple Thunderbolt models, and he was like in his room, like holding them and like, figuring out like, oh, you know, envisioning how it would work.
That's cool.
And then writing it. And I was like, I wonder if you did anything like that for Titanicus.
And it's interesting because Titanicus came out after Hell's Reach.
Yeah.
And Hell's Reach was the first time that I really kind of got a big sense of what Titans were like and that kind of stuff. And what's cool about the way that the Black Library allows the authors to kind of take their own spins on things is Dan's view on Titanicus. It comes across differently to me than what Aaron Dembski-Bowden's was in Hell's Reach. But they're both Titans, and you still get the sense of them as these god machines. And so it's interesting, I think.
Yeah.
To see how that works.
For sure. In Mechanicum, you have the rise of Titans during Civil War.
Yep.
You have multiple Titan battles in Horus Heresy novels.
Yeah.
Titan Death, obviously,
right?
A huge one, but No Fear. No Fear is such a good book. This was the book that locked in for me. Like Ultramarines are super cool.
Yeah. Like
it's when super heavies are falling from orbit because the Starcraft have been hit. And it was amazing. Anyway, No Fear. Betrayer has like a great thing where these warhounds are like taking down like a reaver, if I remember correctly, with like the chain spike things.
Right. Yep. The Ursus Claw.
The Ursus Claw. That's right. Mortis.
Oh, Mortis.
It's a good one too. So you have many.
I think that's the one that really, Mortis was the one where there was a female pilot and the male chaos pilot, and they're going over the kind of the Sherlock Holmes over the waterfall.
Yeah.
It was such a great book.
The Black Books, Horus Heresy 5 and 7 by Alan Bly. You have Tempest and Inferno. Inferno is where the Side Titans.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool, dude. And just, oh man, those books just are like, I have them all.
Yeah.
In hardback.
I'm missing number 5. I have it in paperback, but not in the hardback.
They're so pricey if you try to buy them.
I know. $550 is as cheap as I can find.
And I just like, there have been times where I've been like, oh, maybe I should sell them. I have one that's signed over to me by Alan, but like that one I can't get rid of. But like the others I've thought of, but I have the whole collection. So I'm like, but they're art. They're like, such a good.
I've pulled them out and just sat and just kind of like leafed through them.
They're incredible.
Not to prep for a show or anything, just to go back through it. And oh, look at this art plate. Oh, and look at this art plate. And then look at this art plate.
You know how much Jeff loved that. But
that's
not
why I
only
said
that, like the writing,
No, I know.
was so good.
I was making a Jeff joke.
And I, I remember when these Forge World books would come out, and like maybe a word is misspelled here or there, people would just lose their mind. Oh, I don't pay this amount of money for this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody ever makes mistakes. Nothing ever slips through. I work in software, so
Yeah.
Listen. So I mean, like there is tons of literature and narratives about Titans.
Well, I will tell you, the new book, Drop Site Massacre.
I'm going to download it.
There is some fantastic Titan stuff in that book. There's a whole sequence with Dearest Irae coming out, and
I got to check this.
And this unit, these units of Salamander Land Raiders trying to take it out at its feet, and the struggle that this one Princeps is having to overcome the demon engine, demon Titan. It's so well done.
That's awesome.
John did an amazing job.
That's awesome. I think you'll love hearing that. And then what was the other point I was going to bring up? I lost it now. I had another point that you were talking about that, and it reminded me of, but I've lost the thread. I think that Titans just...
I think that kind of closes the door on the subject right there.
I was going to edit that out, but now I'll just leave it in. All right. Anyway, she's normally better about this. She doesn't. Anyway, maybe she was trying to shut it before the cat came out here and started yelling again.
Oh yeah. Maybe.
I find Titans to be such an interesting subject. They are expensive models to buy.
Yes.
Like very at the Forge World level.
Yes.
Like they are incredibly expensive.
And they're pricey at the Adeptus Titanics level.
Yeah, even it's not a cheap unit if you're not going to do something. If you're not going to play that game, like it's.
I mean, to counter that just a little bit, though, if you want it as a project that you want to have as on display, and that you are into that part of the hobby, the modeling and the painting, knowing you're probably not going to use it very much,
it's going to keep you busy for some time.
For some time,
100%.
Yeah.
And, but they, I mean, it is a big sum of money you are laying out there. And, I've heard all the Forge World, quality control is blah, blah, blah. I own a lot of Forge World stuff. And
their customer service is actually really, really good.
And yes, I've had issues with some things that I've been able to straighten out either through customer service or on my own, through hot water under a tap or hot sand bed or
Hot sand bed.
I've not used sand bed, but I mean, this is the state that you're going to, you're going to pay if you want one of these. But I will say they also come with a cool certificate.
Yeah. You get a certificate off
numbered certificate to prove this year. And a lot of times when you go to like secondhand resell these things, people are like, do you have the certificate for it?
Yep.
Like they want to know it's a legitimate model. All right. So anyway, we have run, as you talked about, you used to run events in game where we would bring Thunderhawks, we would bring Titans, that kind of stuff. There's nothing quite like it though.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I mean, it is pretty darn cool. Yeah. And like I said, I brought the one that Caleb painted to the Maelstrom mixer, and it was battling a Tau Manta.
Yeah.
So many people walked over that table to see what was going on.
Yeah, when I used it at the shop for Thanksgiving and for the end of our Crusade thing, we did this huge apocalypse battle, and the Warlord Titans at the end of the table firing at stuff, and it was super draw. People really, really enjoyed it
because it's not something you see every day, right? And boy, when they're done really well, like Caleb's, the one he's done for me, it's unlike anything else I have. Like it's literally a piece of artwork. Yeah. Now that being said, I will say the model is somewhat fragile. Like even as well put together as it is, there are times you have to pick it up carefully. You have to set it down carefully. Like every time I brought it to an event, I'm like, nobody moves it but me.
Right.
Because much like your wife's dinner plates. Yeah. Right. If I break it,
it's on you. Right.
If somebody else breaks it, how are you going to apologize enough to me?
Right.
And so it's a sensitive matter. Yep. So I was a little nervous having it out the Maelstrom mixer.
I mean, for me, for the Warhound or the Warlord.
I think less about the Warhound, interestingly enough.
Yeah, for the Warlord, anytime I have it out, I always make sure that I have glue
Around
super glue and accelerator,
Yeah.
because you're going to pop off a panel here or there, and
Yeah.
they'd glue back on. It's not that big of a deal, but
but man.
yeah, but I don't want to chip the paint. It was professionally painted for Nova Open Charity Foundation.
Oh, that one, your Warlord.
Really,
Yeah. I need to see that. You can show me a picture.
Yeah.
Of that. Give me a picture so I can also put it up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, on that, let's take a break. We'll come back, close out the show.
Okay.
All right, we're back to close out the show. Thank you for listening. Next episode, we will be talking in depth about the various Xenos and Chaos Titans.
Ooh.
Which is really where my passion lies. So yeah, you can. You got any last minute thing you want to throw out there? What's going on with Lords and Heroes?
Lords and Heroes. Oh, well, with the old world back, Lords and Heroes are now a thing again.
More relevant than ever.
More relevant than ever. We're talking about, maybe we do it as a Patreon thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we do that. I don't know.
You given any thought to like your first comeback episode on that thing?
No, I was thinking about waiting until. It's going to be until the new year because I had to wait till after I move.
Oh, okay.
My brain is just overdone.
Of course.
But then, I want to look at it and see. I think it makes sense to do it in conjunction with an old world game.
Yeah,
because it's their Lords and Heroes.
You got Tom, Travis.
Yeah.
All those guys love that stuff.
Yeah.
Me, no. Actually, you know what? I think I said this before too. Is the packaging of the old world stuff?
Yeah,
really. It's done well. And
yes.
I always look at it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just buy a box of this. And finally, Tom was like, I have enough armies. Like, you could just use one of mine. I'm like, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'd rather do that. I don't need an, like I said, I'm looking at selling some Age of Sigmar stuff. So I'm like, I really don't need another game. All right. So you can leave us reviews on iTunes, whatever your podcast
platform of choice
is. Please leave us a review, leave us a rating, if you will.
And what if they wanted to contact us directly? How would they do that?
They could send me an email to carl@theindependentcharacters.com. They could join our Facebook group.
And our Discord.
You must, let me just tell you again, if you're trying to join the Facebook group, you must complete the questions. I don't even care if you spell Adon's name wrong.
Like 60% of the population.
Like a bunch of people do. Or spell my name with a K, which sometimes
there are no
do.
E's in Adon.
Yeah. Or O's. But if you don't answer the questions, we just immediately decline.
Yep.
And we have been able to prevent tons of spam from coming in there as a result of this.
Yep.
And so what happens sometimes too is like maybe you invite your friend to join the Independent Characters Facebook group, and we decline it because you can't answer the questions for them and they don't get posted the questions. So your best bet is just tell them, hey, you should join this group.
And then answer the questions.
Yeah, and then answer the questions. And as you mentioned, we have a Discord, which is just hopping. It's fantastic. I absolutely hang out there quite a bit.
Yep.
And
then that can actually give us a message, an actual voice message.
And we would love that. We'd love that, as you just heard one today.
And how do you access that?
You just go right to theindependentcharacters.com. It's on the right-hand side of the webpage, and you just click on it, and you can start recording your message.
But no more than 2 minutes.
It'll limit you to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, trust me. But if you do, or you have questions you want us to answer, or you have feedback about what we've talked about on the show, we will absolutely answer it there. So
we'd love to hear like your experiences with Titans on the table, that kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like you just heard Lefteris Papadopoulos today. Like great commentary. Like I really, really enjoyed listening to it. So Adon, is there anything we have forgotten to add at this point?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Let's go.
For those of you who practice.
Yeah, let's go record our F1 thing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. So until next time, this is Carl.
This is Adon.
And we're coming to you from the Astronomicon, where you may frequently hear engine kill.
And where the Emperor decreed There are monsters, and then there are the monsters we create to fight them.
I like that quote. That's a good one. This episode of The Independent Characters is protected by the Creative Commons license. If you have further questions as to its use, you can find information on the front page at theindependentcharacters.com.